The other day I was aim coaching a Radiant who did not aim smoothly at all, so I gave him some stuff to work on to make him aim smoother. Subscribe and let's get into it. So let's just look at what you sent me first. This is your VOD, right? Alright, cool. So what I'm noticing here is it seems like you're kind of shaky, like you're really struggling to be able to even move your mouse with the target, like you're not being very smooth about it, you're not really aiming at the target, you're just like either waiting for it or flicking very quickly to it and hoping it doesn't move before it hits you, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really have a lot of comfort in being able to more smoothly move your mouse to the target, and it's really wasting a lot of time in these, so we can kind of work on how to fix that in a second. Let's look at the Reflex firework flick. Okay, you definitely seem a lot more comfortable with actually flicking to the bots than you were when we last met. Like when we last met, I remember you'd get close to them and then stay behind them, but it seems like for most of these you're at least flicking far enough to hit the bot, which is good. Then let's look at your Valorant gameplay. Nice. So what I'm noticing here is like right there your crosshair was stuck next to Sova's head. I'm guessing the way that felt in your hand, it felt like you just couldn't pull your mouse a small enough distance to get to him. It just didn't feel that comfortable with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, so what I think I want to work on with you, at least for this session, first is getting you comfortable with like more steady, precise mouse movements. So can you launch up Kovaaks and stream that to me? Let's start out with centering 1. It's more just that your approach to tracking this target is you kind of just flick a bunch of times instead of making like a rather continuous tracking like motion, right? So let's go to something a bit easier and then come back to this. So hit done. Share my screen, show you me doing it so that you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about, and then I'll go back to this. So screens, go live. My Kovaaks is launching up, hold on. So basically, let's say this is you, right? This is an exaggerated version of what you're doing, but it's like this. It's like, you kind of just like, and then you'll start to like go like this a little bit where you're like, just like, still like always moving your mouse, but it still like kind of feels like a combination of flicks, like accelerate, realize you're going too far, decelerate to the edge of it, accelerate, decelerate, accelerate, decelerate. It just looks like this, which just isn't that clean. Like try to make it one motion instead. Like you start to fall off it, speed back up to get on it instead of going like that and like shaking around, because then once you go like that, then you have to like slow down a bunch and then like figure.
Not like linear.
Like just try and make it feel like it's one motion that you're in control of, rather than just like panicking and trying to get back on the target. It's definitely occasional like jolts of like flickiness, and then I feel like you realize you're doing it and fix it. You don't have to be on it all the time. I just want to see you not really tense, not really shaky, not panicking.
Yeah.
Even if you're on it for like 5% accuracy, that's better than being tense, shaky, panicking. Don't worry about it. You're at 27% accuracy right now, but you're very tense, very shaky. Try to like just relax and get on the target smoothly and steadily. So you have like really 3 techniques in this that you kind of switch between. The first one you started out with, maybe the first 20 seconds, this was your dominant technique. You'd flick to the bot and then you'd track it, spam clicking and keep missing while you follow it, right? The second one was you just sit there in between its strafes and wait for it, which is probably the ideal score technique. But I personally think you should be trying to at least, like, I mean, in game, I guess you can win off crosshair placement, but for this scenario, I'd really be trying to, like, focus on learning how to read and move to the bot. And so, like, just crosshair placement, like, there's not really a huge need to practice the crosshair placement part of this. You want to try and, like, learn how to actually aim at the person when they're, like, doing the movements. And then the third technique you have is, like, yes, that probably would get you a high score, and it does work, but, like, I don't know. That's not really what I'm trying to get at least for this run with you. And then the third technique you have is you flick to it, and then you hard flick to it, hard flick to it, hard, like a fast... Sorry, I have something in my throat. I don't know what's up, but basically, you have, like, a flick, a hard, fast flick between the bot. And it's just like, you can try to do the third technique, but slower and more smoothly, right? So you, like, get close to the bot, and then you just move steadily to right where the bot's going when you get to the bot. You know what I mean by that? Like, if the bot is here, let me make a little drawing to explain this to you. Share your screen. Screen 1, go live. New drawings. Let's say this is the bot, like, right now, and this line is, like, the time or whatever, and then, like, this is when your crosshair will get there. So this is where the bot will be when your crosshair gets there, right? So you start here, you try to flick there, so that when your crosshair gets there, it's on the center of the bot, right? And you'll kind of learn how to read that exactly as you practice it. But try not to go so fast that it's like, you're like, right now what you're trying to do is catch the bot without having, and just pray it doesn't move far enough between your flick that you hit it, and it just causes a lot of inconsistency, a lot of having to do 2, 3, or 4 of those flicks, as you've noticed, right? So instead, try to read the bot, understand where it's going, flick, and land where it's going, right? Alright, cool. So that'll just take a lot of practice. Here, try it. I'm not expecting you to be able to do it. I just want to see, like, how your technique looks with that. And after, like, 2 misses on a bot, just move on from that bot. Don't get tied down. Like, 1 or 2 misses, just move on. So try this. I just wanted to see how your technique, and 1 or 2 missed micros, like, after. You see, it still looks like you're just flashing between the bots. It doesn't look like you're trying to actually read the bot. And I know it's going to be very difficult for you to do this, and that's fine. That's just what we're trying to do.
Like I want to flick, and when that one goes left,
like, you don't have to do such a fast flick either. Just, like, focus on the second half of the flick, honestly. Like, you get there, and then you just see how the bots, like, see. Alright, I'm going to share my screen again. And the bot's going, like, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. What you do is you go like this. And then you just miss a bunch. You try and, like, flick to it instantly. You see how that's, like, kind of like what you're doing? Your third technique, at least.
Yeah.
So what you want to try and do is just, you're away from the bot, move a bit slower and get onto it. Just got my wisdom teeth out, so it hurts to say too much of an outro, but basically, it's easier to hit moving targets when you're a bit smoother. Subscribe, become a channel member, see you next week. Also, check out my TikTok, I'm going to start posting there, hopefully.